We all have those moments where we think we have the pattern solved and God will quickly humble us. I was sitting here thinking about how this past week has been very humbling for me because I swapped with my sister and I'm here with my grandmother. So I was experiencing some behaviors with her, and I'm like, oh, this reminds me of like how my kids were. So I was navigating it in a way of like how I would navigate my children, but it wasn't working, and I felt like I was just constantly hitting a brick wall. And then one day I just was crying all day. So this is actually called transfer of learning or analogical thinking. And this is where our brain picks up on patterns and it's like, all right, I see this pattern. So I am going to apply previous knowledge to this pattern because the pattern is similar to something that I've seen before. And it's crazy because sometimes it works, but then sometimes it doesn't. And as I kept hitting this brick wall, I'm like crying out to God, like, God, what am I missing? What don't I get? So after crying long enough, I heard the Holy Spirit say, you're trying to solve a problem without me. And then I was led to read the story about King Solomon, and specifically when he first became king. So when King Solomon first became king, King David, his father, said to him, you are a wise man. He literally told him, you know what, do whatever you need to do in your own wisdom. So Solomon started to establish his kingdom in his own wisdom. But when God came to him and asked him, what do you want? He asked God for an understanding heart to be able to judge God's people and to understand the difference between good and evil, right and wrong. And I was like, you know what? Solomon established his kingdom with his own wisdom, but he knew in order to sustain it that God had to be the center of it all. And as I was reading, I'm going to read you exactly what Solomon said to God. He said, now, O Lord my God, you have made your servant king instead of my father David. But I am a little child. I do not know how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people, whom you have chosen, a great people, too numerous to be numbered or counted. Therefore, give your servant an understanding heart to judge your people, that I may discern between good and evil. For who is able to judge this great people of yours? And as I read that, the part where he said he felt like a little kid hit me the hardest because I am so used to my grandmother. She raised me like I am her daughter, and for me to be in a place where I am now taking care of her and I am now making decisions